Alright, hello, making a video. And I want to talk about a couple of things that are very important to talk about for all of us. Yeah. All of us. Very, very important. But I wanted to do the meditation at the end of the video, and I wanted to demonstrate what it feels like to me after I discussed all the cognitive part of this. But then I wanted to make a photo for this video, and I realized I could not make a decent photo looking decently. I looked mad. I looked disappointed and hurt, and I could not conceal it. And that's the thing with my face. I don't have a poker face like most people. My face does not conceal any emotions. I was ashamed about this in the past because my family overseas kind of made me ashamed about this. My mother tried to make me ashamed. She wanted to make me ashamed about my entire personality, everything about me, my entire person, my body too. She wanted me to feel ashamed about that too. Everything. It's amazing how my mother treated me. But I don't want to go there again. No, I don't want to go there again. I don't want to be in this mind state of what you have done to me and all of that. So that's not going to go anywhere. She didn't know better. I have to cognitively understand that. But the emotion underneath is what I need to feel, what I need to heal, what I need to cry through, And that thing is triggered in the present. That theme keeps coming up with people. My mother has shamed me for being desperate for a boyfriend many, many times. I can't count it anymore, how many times she has shamed me. She ridiculed me, mocked me for being desperate for a boyfriend, telling me that I need to withdraw, I need to not talk so much, I need to not show my emotions, I need to play hard to get. I know she's coming from her own pain with this, but that is a behavior pattern that is very difficult for me to understand. Very difficult. I do not understand cat and mouse games. I don't understand it. I'm too much of a dork for that. I'm sorry, No, I'm not sorry at all. No, not at all. I'm a dork, and I love being a dork because I love me, Nicola. Okay, I love myself, and that's a wonderful thing. And I am a dork, and it is good. Okay, I am there, 100% there, available. Okay. It doesn't mean I'm easy. Scrappy accused me of being easy. Right, Scrappy? Scrappy, how come we're not dating then? Yeah, that's a good question to ask, right? If I was that easy, we would probably be seeing each other. Yes, but we're not. Because, you know why? Because you're an asshole. That's why, okay? And I love myself as much as a dork I am. dork, available, nerd, like, I'm here for you, like with that open facial expression. That's wonderful, you know that? That's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing, is that. But 99 or something percent of the human ape does not like that. No, 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 no. No, that's not fashionable. That's not chic. No, that is no, 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 no. No, you're weird if you're like that. You're a dork. You're you're not en vogue if you are like that. In order to be en vogue, you have to be hard to get. You have to be you have to feel like you are above everyone else with the nose up. And for some reason that always seems to reel in a lot of people. They want to play that cat and mouse game. I'm not just talking about dating right now. It's like, she's hard to get. I want to be her friend. There's a problem with that, okay? That's a problem. That is a sociological issue that people play, okay? That's very neurotic. Why do you have to... Let's take Elliot Rodger, for example. It wasn't only about sex for Elliot Rodger, okay? And I'm not putting him down because I feel terribly sorry for him, for what happened to him. Terribly sorry, and for all of his victims. A student in Santa Barbara, Elliot Rodger, snapped at some point, but there was a tremendous history before that snapping breaking point, of unimaginable suffering and resistance and psychological tension that never got resolved. Nobody could help him. No one ever helped him. He tried to push women over a balcony one time at a party. They beat him up, understandably so. So I would feel like kicking his ass too for that, you know. And then he was bruised up. I think he had a broken bone. Someone called an ambulance. They were kind enough after beating him up to call the ambulance. But I understand the anger, for sure. But nothing happened. No charges were filed against him. And he kind of understood why he was beaten up. I mean, that's pretty cognitively understandable for him too. But he still felt like, in his mind, he felt victimized. That's why he was trying to push the women over the balcony, because he felt victimized by them. They didn't want him. Okay, that's the thing. It wasn't so much about sex for him. His dad is rich. Okay, he's a filmmaker, producer in Hollywood. And he offered to pay for a very, very, very high-ranking prostitute. You know, one of those that are going to college, that are, I don't know, 21 or 22, like he was, going to college but trying to make the extra cash. And only with the highest of the highest, the 1% kind of men that would be referred to them. So, like the secret bordel among the 1%. Okay. And, well, I don't blame them. They want to make extra money if that's what they want to do. I personally couldn't do it because I love myself too much for that. But he could have done that with a beautiful woman and everything, okay? If it was only for the sex for him. But that's not what it was. He declined. He didn't want the prostitute. He wanted a girl to come up to him and say, "I want you." And I understand that feeling all too well. So I can totally relate to that. So this is much more even with women than it is with men. But maybe not anymore so much today, with today's generation. So for us women, has always been this way. That's why the bordel was Heidi Fleiss, and when she was trying to do the bordel for men, prostituting young men to prestigious women. That's why that didn't go very well, because women want to be wanted. They don't want to be having to pay an escort. That doesn't feel so good. We don't feel wanted. It's like, escort here, come here, I pay you big bucks for that, But yeah, I know why the only reason why you're here is for the money and nothing else. It doesn't feel so good. So, but apparently I see this more now, more and more and more with the younger generation men. The same thing, they want the girl or the woman to come up to them. Much more than ever before in the past. So it has always been this thing where I almost thought this is our biology. We women, I almost took what my mother said as a fact. And I felt bad about it, because it feels so neurotic and it feels cold. I knew this instinctively already. But my mother said, women they need to be catty, and like the old Hollywood movies, or Clint Eastwood films. The woman is hard to get. Oh, and the man has to try all kinds of things. He stands on his head and he does clown acts in order to lure her over. And she goes, "No, I'm too good for you. Shit. Oh, I want to throw a cake in her face," right? So, but I see with the younger generations, and I like the youngest generation. I used to not be interested in teen boys at all. And I'm not interested under 18, so just want to make this disclaimer here, okay? But I used to not be interested in men under 20 at all before I met Austin. Sorry, I have to go back to that theme. Oh man, this is too bad. But so then, and then I started to, after Austin, then I started to pay attention to kids that are going in that direction, a little bit like, I don't know, like a doll, a goth doll, sort of, so pasty goth doll. So I used to not be into that at all. I would always go, dysfunctional. Let me get the heck out of here. And then after Austin, that changed my taste buds. So I saw one the other day, locally. I saw a pasty gauze doll. I almost felt like going, but Paul was right there. That would have been a drama. He was looking, and I was like, oh man, I gotta get out of the van and give him my email. I have my email address on little cards that I made myself with an artwork on the other side. I wanted to go over there real bad and say, if you need to talk sometime, Grandma's here for you. But I didn't. I was too shy. I felt really. I felt so. That would feel so embarrassing for me to do that. But yeah, but I start to see these pasty youngsters. So, and yeah, kind of a little bit lifeless, a little bit as my mother instinct kicks in was that too, where I wanna help them. It's not just some physical attraction. There's a whole lot more that goes into with Austin. This need to, I want to help. I want to see your potential. I see your incredible potential, all of you kids out there. That's beyond girls and boys. That's beyond the sexual needs. I see these really young generational kids that come in here, and that Dolores Cannon was talking about this already. They come to the world, I don't know, they already have some knowing. They already know more than the older generations. They're born with more knowledge. I don't know, it must have... I think knowledge can be inherited. Knowledge in terms of the suffering of the parents, and then when the kid is very intelligent, then certain memories that get inherited, they may not be able to recall all of this right away, but when they see a certain situation, then they seem to already know what's going on more than with the older generations. Very interesting. So that's a very interesting subject. It goes way beyond scientific status of knowledge that is happening right now worldwide. So there's only a few scientists, like I said before, who are willing to go in that direction of information that we learn that can attach itself onto the DNA molecule, the protein. So, it's unbelievably amazing, is that. So, but there's so much going on, you'll be very surprised. But yeah, I see, so they come with a wisdom, and then they're not pushed down because they're too flexible to be pushed down. They're like flexible rag dolls. They get pushed down, and then they sit there with those sad eyes, like Austin. Those sad Greek eyes, So, oh man, Bambi eyes. And then they get back up, and they walk on like this rag doll, kind of with the head hanging down and spaghetti hair. And I don't know, I feel protective for them. I don't want them to get hurt. Those are precious. Many of them are advanced souls that come here to make the world better. Okay. What I really wanted to talk about is the older generations and their unimaginable act outs and neurosis, and giving into that because they don't have the pre-knowledge that that the teenagers of today have. They don't have that embedded knowledge, so they're acting out and acting out. And it was even worse when I was at the center in LA at Primal Therapy, and there was this guy from the Bay Area, John. I don't even remember his last name, wouldn't mention it anyway. And a strawberry farmer, very wealthy, he came there with his dark blue, enormously, the biggest Mercedes Benz you can get. And I said, so how long were you driving? It's like really far. About 10 hours or something. That's a long drive. So he was super arrogant. Really arrogant. I was way too dorky for him, with my big wider eyebrows. I mean, I really looked dorky. And just so incredibly and I've always been a puppy dog, like, take me. And he should have been so happy, right? He looked at my body, he saw my curves and everything. But this triumphant attitude towards me of, nah, you're way too much like a puppy dog. That's what he said to me. And, oh, man. But he still took me out for dinner and paid for, and went to the bar and paid for everything and came to visit me. But he wouldn't be lured into my bedroom. Okay. And he didn't take me into the hotel room. And I didn't ask, but I was sitting there like a puppy dog, waiting for him to invite me. And then he said, no, I'm not going to date you. You are way too needy, like a puppy dog. He didn't say catty woman, but that's what he wanted. He wanted the hard to get, the cold lady. And then he found her, Danielle, who I talked about this before, and a couple of videos back at the other house. I was talking about the situation, Danielle and her husband Len. Okay. So, and she was very cold. That's an act out. That's self-protection, of course. We have to look at why they behave like this. Okay. And she's always been very cold to me. Okay, I could never become friends with her. She would keep me on arm's length like this. But later on, I guess she dumped John and said he's an asshole. Yeah, he is, indeed. But, I should have been so glad. Danielle is 14 years older than me. So I was in my 20s, she was in her 30s. and John was in his 40s, and he should have been so, so happy to get a girl in her 20s with big, voluptuous body and everything. He should have been so grateful. Yeah, I saw him looking, a lot. But I turn around and say, yeah, puppy dog, Nah, no, you're too much like a puppy dog. And see, that's what I wanted to talk about in this video now. And I'm trying to understand this and dig deeper into it. Unlike Paul or most people, they don't dig deeper into this. They stay stuck with judgment or with they have some superficial explanations. You and your grandfather had a personality conflict. So that's the prototypical expression that Paul would say, Like, yeah, I already know that. That is not an explanation for anything. I want to dig deeper into it. Why did my grandfather and I have this personality conflict? So that's just a statement. That's not digging deeper into it. Okay. Why was Danielle cold? Okay. Why was my mother cold? Okay. Yeah. So why was John stuck up like that against me, accusing me of being a puppy dog? So I want to dig deeper into it, into the causality of these things, and not be stuck with whatever judgment or he's just a jerk, he's just arrogant. But let's find out why. He has a story. There's a story behind it, for sure. Why am I a puppy dog? That's easy to answer. Because I'm a dog. I am a giver. Okay? I'm not a taker. I am a full giver. Okay? And that's wonderful. But not for 99% of humans. When they see someone like this, they do all kinds of things. Some of them get mad. Some of them get arrogant. Some of them accuse me of virtue signaling. It's just my nature. It's my DNA. It's not my DNA is not trying to do virtue signaling. I have compassion. That's what I feel. I'm not feeling this in order to signal to the outside world that I am a goody-do-goody. Okay. No. I am that, what I am, and I live that. Okay. And I'm not thinking about it twice on how this could be perceived by someone else. But I am bombarded with reactions to my personality all the time. Okay? To the point where they threaten to abduct me, they threaten to put me in a basement and keep me there indefinitely. I'm not even gonna go there what they're thinking, okay? I got death threats. There are many people who hate me, okay? And I think, like, why? How do I deserve that? But obviously, the causality for their behavior goes much deeper, okay? And it has nothing to do with me as a person. I'm just a trigger. My kindness triggers them. Some of them say, I don't trust anyone who is kind like that. Okay, but you trust total jerks, right? Yeah, you trust the real violent jerks. You trust those. Good for you. Keep on trusting the real violent jerks. But you know what? You're gonna have to pay for that with cause and effect. If you side with the monster assholes, they're gonna finish you off, okay? That's what you get for your trust for them, okay? And those people who prefer to trust me and Paul, who are kind-hearted, they're gonna survive. This is just simple physics, okay? That's it. It is so simplistic. It could not be more obviously clear logic. Okay, I hope that makes a lot of sense. But what I wanted to talk about is I want to dig in why John was so stuck up and so snobbish against me. I'm still thinking about this today. Yeah. He's old now, okay? And I have the last laugh. But I hope he found happiness in everything and the great woman. I really wish him happiness. But I want to dig into this. Why was he so... Why would he... Every time I saw him, he had this... a triumphant facial expression. Like this... like this... I don't know, it's hard to explain. I couldn't even imitate this. Okay, like... snobbishness, arrogance. My brother has that going on too. The woman has to be hard to get and prestigious. The harder to get and the more desired by others. The more worshipped. That's but not just lusted after. That's not good enough for him. No, when a woman is worshipped by other men, the whole community, that's when the interest is peaked to the highest. Okay, that's not just romantic, sexual. There's something sickening in them. Okay, they're not right in the head. Okay, that's what's going on, and I see this in the whole world. I had to do a little bit of a self-affirmation mantra. Okay, so because to me, when I see something like this going on in the world, where there's more of pride going on than love or connection, that's when you know there's something that's not going in the right direction at all. When people put pride and then it goes over into that these Zimbardo tests. It goes seamlessly over into it. Pride stuck up I'm not gonna take you. You're like a puppy dog. There's nothing wrong with puppy dogs. I like puppy dogs. Me, Nicola. Okay. I prefer puppy dogs over an animal who says, no, I'm independent. No, I want a puppy dog who wants to be held by me. But not people like that John or my brother or arrogant men out there. No, no, they want to chase the woman. Chase and chasing. Then they can and then once he gets her, but she never gives like me, I am yours. No, she will always be, thanks for the roses, but tomorrow I'm busy. So it will always be like that, and then he's like, no, my proud ego is triumphant. I got the catty lady who is hard to get. The ones with the La Perla black lace catty lady who weighs 80 pounds or whatever, or 100 pounds. So, yeah, that's a triumphant, the Victoria's Secret model. No, better, she's also a physician. It's like it is all about, it is the ego. Okay, that's what this is about. It makes me mad. I want to throw a cake in their faces. Okay, and I've already come to this conclusion 10 years ago. I don't want a man like this. Even if he wanted to, for a night or whatever, just to satisfy himself, before he goes back to trying to chase the black-laced physician or whatever, So I wouldn't. I'm not going to give my body to a man like that. No way. It's not going to happen. Not for a night, not for 2 nights, not for a vacation, not for any length of time. Okay, so I will only hook up with a compassionate, kind-hearted guy. That could be a night, it could be 2 nights or a vacation, or something more serious, but only a kind-hearted guy. Okay. And I'm not gonna cling or anything. I'm not gonna, like I said before, I'm not gonna play head games. I want the best for him. Okay, whatever he wants, it's what I wish for him, So I deal with my jealousy and my abandonment feelings on my own. I'm not gonna bring this up to him and do guilt tripping or forcing anyone to love me. You can't force anyone to love you. That will never work. Okay, so I could share how I feel, but without trying to draw or reel them in. Okay, I can share how I feel. This is how I feel, honestly. I can cry, but don't take that personally. Don't be guilt tripped by that at all. You do your thing. You love who you want to love. Okay, I'm cool with that. I deal with my issues on my own. Okay, that's how it needs to be dealt with. I know this 100%. For 100% certainty. Okay, this is how it is. This is how we have to interact with each other. cannot be guilt tripping anyone. No way. No way. But I wanted to dig into this. I needed to talk about this with that John. And as I talk about this, it frees me. Every time I talk about this again, it frees me some more. It liberates me mentally. Or to the point where I start to get a distance to him. In a good way, I can see him from above. I can see where he's coming from. He has issues, okay, and he wants to have power, and that's why I say that this needlessly goes over into that Zimbardo type of hypothesis, that people want to have power over someone. I give him this opportunity. He sees how much I want him because my face, I don't have a poker face, so I sit there next to him with a puppy dog expression on my face. And he doesn't find that lovely or cute because he's so messed up from his past childhood where, he even told me some stuff there while we were sitting there at that bar. And I said, that's horrific what happened to you. And now looking back on it, so I can clearly see, so he was abused and also physically abused by people. And even tortured. And when that happens to someone when they're young or child or teenager, he was a teenager when that happened, that gives them, that's a trauma of unimaginable proportions. This trauma is, he's helpless. He's helplessly delivered towards that other person who does something terrible with him. Later on, this whole thing is forgotten and gone into unconsciousness. In a situation that arises, he may be the manager of an animal shelter. There is a person who wants that dog, particularly if that person is very different to him politically. He goes, no, because he has power now. He has now power over that other person. That other person wants that dog real bad, and he has power over the situation. If he gave the dog to that person, then he would not be playing out that power. So he wants to play out that power because, and it's pretty obvious, that animal shelter, when he was a child, was abused. Okay, that's also why he's 400 pounds. Okay, I'm not making fun of him. Okay, I am not gonna mock him. I just I see him. I see what's going on. Okay. And I psychoanalyze. I go into the depths of it because I want to know the depths of it. Okay. Same with that John. John told me he was abused. So helpless. Helplessness. That's a bad bit. The ego doesn't like that at all. Ego is the psychological defense mechanism that comes in later on, even though it's totally irrational in future situations. That feeling comes up, oh, here is a situation that offers itself to me where I can be a prick. So let me be a prick, so I can sunbathe myself in that moment of prickness. So that's what it is, it's like now he has something that someone else wants, his love, his physical body, his touch and all of that. And he says, no. Like with that contemptuous arrogance. And that's his pain, that's his childhood pain, that's an act out. That this power position feels better to him in that moment, to play it all the way out, to let me go home alone, not see me again, to play this all the way out. He's not going to get that, what his body needs. He's not going to get it. No, the other thing is sweeter, the power over the puppy dog lady. That is better for him in that moment, because he's been abused and now he's playing out the abuser, whether it's psychologically or physically. And most people, they play psychological, abusing. And that comes from their own abuse from childhood. But not everyone who has been abused is gonna be acting out like this. Not everyone. So there's less than 1% of people who will not act that out, who will always have this compassion for someone else and for themselves, for their own bodies, and who will not be feeling super powerful or happy or excited the moment they have a leverage, the upper leverage in any kind of situation where someone else wants something that they have and that they have the power over, whether they give that or not. Less than 1% who had been abused will give that love or whatever that other person needs to have. Okay, so because of compassion. And that's why I talk about this in my videos. So the compassion center, it's either the compassion center must not be very developed then. I think that's, well, they tested that. Dr. Adrian Rain saw that on the fMRI. Okay, he saw that the compassion center is not developed in violent criminals. Now he needs to test people like that John and see what's going on there. I bet the compassion center is not very developed. Okay. If someone has a very developed compassion center, like very large amygdala, like I have, that person feels compassion, whether they have been abused in their own childhood or not. When they see and understand the situation in that moment, there's this other living being, animal or human, who needs something that they have. They're not going to withhold that. Okay, they want to make sure that other being is safe, taken care of, served. And that's who I am. Okay, and I'm not virtue signaling. This is who I am. That's genetic. Okay. Ingrid Newkirk is that person. Okay, that's why she's hated. The corporations slander PETA. They slander them all the time. They use market psychologists to slander them. Slander them. They lie about them. Okay, they tell total lies. Also, totally contradictory statements. Okay, so anyone who thinks PETA are bad, I wrote a very good article about Richard Berman and the slander campaign against PETA. You can look it up. Okay, it's out there on the internet. I don't want to get in too much into lengths with this, okay? But I see all of these things, and I want to get to the core of it. Why all of this? Why people are... Obviously, Richard Berman is greedy, okay? The people who want to slander Peter are greedy because Peter stands in their way of corruption, of exploiting animals. So they want to slander Peter so that they don't get enough support, so that they can't change our legal system to protect the animals. That's what the corporations are after, nothing else. It's about greed, profit maximization. They don't care if it's on cost of others. Okay. So they hate PETA for that reason. Because PETA is the largest animal rights organization worldwide. Created by one woman, God level soul, Ingrid Newkirk. Okay. So anyway, peace out.